Imagine having a digital assistant that does not just answer questions, but actually takes action. It analyzes your data, makes decisions, and completes tasks all autonomously. That's what AI agents do, and with Claude's new tools, building one is easier than you think. In this video, I will walk you through creating your first AI agent step by step, even if you have never coded before. Imagine coding without code. This changes everything for AI automation. They do not just follow commands, they understand intent. The real shift is from passive tools to active problem solvers. This means you delegate an objective, and the agent independently plans and executes the entire workflow. It is the fundamental leap from simple automation to true delegation of complex reasoning. Now, let's make this concrete. Imagine telling an assistant, maximize our team's productivity this quarter. A chatbot just responds. An AI agent, however, grabs your calendar, analyzes project data, prioritizes tasks, and schedules everything autonomously. The key insight is this: you are not giving step-by-step instructions. You are handing off an outcome, and the agent owns the entire process to achieve it. So, how does this truly work? The Agent SDK provides the structure, the brain, tools, and memory. You define the goal, and the assistant reasons, takes multi-step actions, and learns from results. What this means is you are not coding every detail. You are architecting a system that thinks and executes independently to solve your problem. Claude can now build AI that works for you, with zero coding required. You will begin by installing Python and the required packages. The key insight is that while this setup is straightforward, it establishes the core operating environment for your AI agent. What this means is getting this foundation right is what will allow your agent to reliably process information and execute its autonomous tasks later on. Think of your API key not as a mere access code, but as the agent's digital identity. Without it, your creation has no soul. The pattern clearly indicates that authentication is where passive code becomes an active, accountable entity. This single string of characters is what transforms your script from a local toy into a global actor. Now, choose your tools like you are selecting the very ground where this intelligence will be built. The key insight is that your project structure forms the agent's foundational logic. Every folder, every file dictates how it thinks. This initial architecture is what determines whether your agent remains a simple script or evolves into a true digital entity. Claude does not just answer questions anymore. It builds its own workforce. The key insight is to start with a single, focused capability. What this means is that your agent's purpose isn't to know everything, it's to execute a specific, repeatable task flawlessly. You are its architect, defining the exact parameters for how it will operate and what success looks like. That clarity from the start is what transforms a concept into a reliable workforce member. Now, you will architect its intelligence. You are going to define its core reasoning function. The pattern clearly indicates that this single method becomes your agent's central command, interpreting every instruction, accessing its tools, and formulating its next strategic move. Here's what's really happening: you are not just writing code, you are establishing its operational heartbeat. Now, we confront the single most consequential line of code you will write, the system prompt. This isn't a simple instruction list. The key insight is that you are forging its identity and ethical core, defining not just what it does, but how it reasons about the world. Your agent's entire character and judgment are built right here. Forget everything you think you know about AI. This isn't just a chatbot anymore. But here's the problem: a standalone agent is disconnected. The key insight is that its true power comes from interacting with the world. By adding web search, you break that isolation. What this means is your creation is no longer just processing data, it is actively gathering it, building a dynamic understanding of reality in real time. But information gathering is just the first step. The pattern clearly indicates that an agent must also work with what it finds. By integrating file reading, we empower it to deeply analyze documents and structured data. What this means is your agent transforms from a passive observer into an active analyst, extracting meaning and insight directly from source material. Now, imagine handing your agent a master key to the digital world. This is the power of connecting to APIs. The key insight is that your agent stops being an internal processor and becomes an active participant, pulling live data, interacting with external services, and making real-time decisions. Claude's AI agents just broke coding's biggest rule. Have you ever hit run on code that truly feels alive? This is that moment. The key insight is that we are not just executing a script, we are initiating a cognitive process. The system is now analyzing your request, formulating a logical plan, and deciding how to act autonomously. That's the leap from programmed instruction to intelligent agency. Watch the command execute. There's a distinct shift from providing instructions to observing genuine reasoning. The pattern clearly indicates an intelligence parsing the task, evaluating capabilities, and constructing its own logical sequence. What this means is you have created a system that does not follow a path, it determines the optimal one for itself. This moment is profound, the transition from instruction to independent execution. Your agent is now navigating the problem space, applying internal logic to generate a unique solution path. The key insight is that you have engineered emergent behavior, a system capable of genuine task decomposition and autonomous decision-making to achieve your specified outcome. Imagine AI agents creating their own AI agents. This changes everything. Let's build that promise. We will construct an agent that acts as your personal social media manager. It can analyze trending topics, craft original content, and then autonomously schedule those posts. This isn't just a concept. It is a full-time, self-managing creative engine, turning your strategy into consistent, high-quality output with zero daily effort from you. Stop telling your data what to do. An analyst doesn't just fetch numbers, it reveals secrets. This agent interrogates spreadsheets, uncovering hidden correlations and silent failures long before they surface in a report. It transforms raw data from a passive record into a source of strategic advantage, discovering the critical stories you weren't even looking to tell. The reality is your support team is overwhelmed. The key insight is that with a proactive service agent, you do not just answer tickets, you predict them. This means analyzing patterns in customer conversations to resolve issues before frustration builds, fundamentally shifting support from a reactive cost center to a strategic relationship engine. What if AI isn't just a chatbot, but a coworker you can actually build? Think of a coworker who forgets everything you just told them. Frustrating, right? That's an AI without memory. The breakthrough here is persistence. By implementing conversation memory, your agent learns from every interaction, building a shared history. This transforms it from a one-time responder into a true collaborator that understands context and evolves with your work. Now, let's move beyond simple recall. The real power is adding deep, structured context windows. These act as a curated knowledge base for your agent, allowing it to grasp nuanced topics and maintain complex reasoning chains. What this means is your agent does not just remember, it comprehends, making it capable of handling sophisticated, multi-layered tasks autonomously. Think of this not as a contingency plan, but as strategic autonomy. The key insight is that by defining these fallback rules, you are building resilience directly into your agent's core logic. This means that when it encounters an unexpected roadblock, it won't just stop, it will intelligently reroute its own workflow. Forget everything you have been told about coding to build intelligent agents. Think of this as a stress test for your AI agent. You create realistic scenarios, like simulated customer complaints or complex data requests, and see how your agent responds. The key insight is, you are not just finding bugs. You are training your agent to handle the unpredictable nature of the real world, making it more resilient and reliable before it goes live. Here's your agent's unedited decision log, a raw transcript of its thoughts. You are not debugging code, you are interpreting strategy. The pattern clearly indicates where confidence masked uncertainty, or where a logical leap occurred. What this means is you are reverse engineering intelligence itself, tuning the core reasoning process before it interacts with reality. This isn't about fixing mistakes, it's about evolving the agent's strategy. Real user interactions expose flawed assumptions in its logic. The key insight is to refine those foundational thought patterns. What this means is you are stress testing its decision-making core, ensuring its internal reasoning aligns perfectly with the unpredictable complexity of the real world. You can build powerful AI agents with Claude without any coding experience. Agents go beyond chatbots by taking actions and making decisions autonomously. The real power comes from combining multiple tools into seamless workflows. Try building your own agent for a specific task you do regularly, and share what you create in the comments below.